you ever think about how the internet just became complete trash? Remember when we were like, 11, and it was like you could just go to your fan website and go to your whatever, and you could get some real information, and maybe there's some real conversations with real people happening.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a sea of bots on fucking social media, right? Like, anyway.
Right.
I find the internet so useless now. I mean, I still watch a bunch of YouTube, but
Yeah. Even YouTube, like my YouTube feed is just getting so diluted. And
I
it's turning into like just a whole bunch of like long form content that I don't have time to watch
me
half
too,
of it,
me too, me
basically.
too, me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because like a lot of stuff that's shorter is like it lends itself more to meme content or
yeah. And there's some
maybe I'll
good
watch like a shorter pedal review or
There's good
something every
memes for
once in a
sure,
while.
but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But if you're gonna watch shorter form content, like that kind you might as well just be watching like TikTok at that point,
By shorter
basically.
form, you mean a minute to 5 minutes, or
I mean, the short form truly would be like a minute or
a
less,
minute or less? Right, right,
but a minute to 5 minutes is kind of like a shorter,
right. Yeah,
short-ish
yeah,
kind of form. But you have time to dig into like one, maybe two or three different things, and then like it's over basically.
yeah.
Like enough to just chew on for a second,
Well,
and then like
yeah,
swallow it and move on.
I would say that regardless of how much time you have, there are ways, and you're smart. You're trying to change your perspective in a way
Yeah,
that your average bear isn't. And mostly
yeah.
because the tools that most people reach for are exactly what they want you to reach for, which is just a whole lot of nonsense. And a lot of the
Yeah,
emotional volatility and
most people are just reaching for confirmation bias.
that's for sure as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Most people aren't actively looking to expand.
I think the meta level. I think that's why I like this book. It's a meta level. It's what is actually being said and what's the nature of the message. Um,
Yeah.
and it's yeah. And anyway, so people people tend to hear what is being said or what they think is being said, but the form of the message, like how it was expressed, is just thrown away almost immediately. And I think that's partly
Right.
why a lot of these arguments happen, is because people extract to some extent a different message, mostly due to their own biases, and then they think they're arguing over what was actually said, but they're just arguing over what they perceived. And I think a lot of people
Yeah.
probably notice that and realize that. But I think the more that you can separate yourself from that, the better off you'll be emotionally and otherwise.
Yeah. And it's just big to separate yourself emotionally from those influences, and more importantly, I guess, like, if you want to get into that sort of territory, just spiritually or at least energetically from those influences, because kind of digging into what we were talking about with language earlier, like people process information just perceptually and unconsciously far before they begin to articulate it
Yeah,
and
yeah,
put it into a conscious form
yeah,
and think about it.
yeah,
It's just feeling and perception is how most people process information, and then you see that bleed out into how they structure their language and what sticks over time, and that's kind of like a communally or culturally built construct over time too.
yeah,
And what makes studying linguistics and language so interesting is that informs about the steady growth and formation of that process.
Which process?
The process of how we organize our perceptions and then communicate our, I guess, findings,
Yeah,
and all unconsciously,
yeah,
specifically,
yeah, yeah,
because people don't consciously think, "Hey, let's string these three words together and see if it sticks." See you later.
Ye-
Someone didn't think, "Hey, let's just start saying see you later and see what happens." Maybe
yeah.
it'll be the guy who thought to say see you later, and I'll be going down in history as the guy who thought of it.
Yeah, the guy, the
It
guy
just
who
started
thought it was
happening.
see you later.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe if I go viral with 5 million views saying "see you
See you
later," no one
later.
did
Yeah, and
that.
everybody else starts doing it. Yeah, yeah. But you
Yeah,
see
it's
how
all
we
unconscious.
have this idea of meme now, right? Or the memes and how they catch on
Yeah,
as this sort of cultural, just a cultural concept that gets shared. But memes in that sense have been present in language and also just sort of cultural um, well, yeah, cultural concepts. I mean, ideals, virtues, morals.